team. Tim here from Murphy's Law, one of the co-founders and an attorney by trade. My apologies that I couldn't do this demo live. I'm just on the road, but yeah, I've prepared this video for you guys. So I just wanted to give you a quick demo on what Murphy's Law can do and some of the features and the functionality. So this is the user interface. Of course, we have typically dark mode and light mode. These are the internet and the research buttons, which you can toggle on and off as needed. If you turn both of them off when Murphy generates an answer, then it'll contextualize it based only on our underlying case law and our legislation. But I'm going to run a research query. So this is a concept known as slow AI. It'll take a little bit longer to run the answer. So I'm going to let that run in the background, but it's a lot more detailed. And while that runs, I'll just get to a standard internet question for you. So for the standard internet query, you would use this for most queries, the research. You'll see it'll give you a pretty good version of a first draft of an opinion. Very useful for research, for deeper research. Obviously, the internet query is for your more general queries and your everyday queries. So if you expand this, you can see what Murphy's busy doing. This is just an example question, and once it's finished streaming, then I'll get back to that. It shouldn't take longer than 30 seconds. Maybe while that's running, I'll get to the projects feature. So obviously what we were on was the chat feature, which is over here. But if you go, so these are the projects here. So I'll just go to this one, which is one of my projects that I'm working on. It's a mineral rights dispute. You can upload your own documents over here into the project vault. And then obviously you can chat with Murphy with these on and off as you wish. And then over here, you can contextualize the answer that Murphy gives you. If you wanted to pull from our underlying legislation, you can toggle this on. Same goes for case law, the vault files, which is whatever you've uploaded over here, our agreement templates, and then there's another collection that we're busy making, and it's at the moment it's got textbooks, journal articles, and some of the commentary in it. And obviously we're expanding that weekly as well. So you can toggle this on and off, so you can decide what you want Murphy to pull from when it drafts answers for the project. You can share projects. This is my article clerk over here. If I choose to share this project with him, when he logs into his Murphy, the shared projects will show up over here, and then he'll have access to these files as well, and he can work on the same matter. So most clients will typically create a project for a certain client or for a certain matter. Say, for example, you have a new associate or someone who comes into the firm and they need to get up to speed on a matter. For example, over here, I just asked it to draft me a timeline. This is quite an old matter, and it's gone and done a very concise but very accurate summary of the matter. So it's very easy to get up to speed. If you look at sources, you'll see I had the internet on, so it pulled from a number of different sources, and then also from my own vault. So that is the projects feature. I just want to quickly demonstrate the vault feature. So the vault, you have the organization vault. These would be documents that are applicable to the organization or to the firm as a whole. So for example, your billing policies and your public compliance manual and so forth. Basically anything that you want every member of your organization to have access to when they're chatting with Murphy. And then the projects folder is just a document management system. You can obviously see what you've uploaded to Murphy and when, and the project that it falls under. You can filter it out by the different projects. You can delete, download, share links, and so forth. So that is the vault. And then just to get back to the internet query, so you can see here what Murphy did. It thought for 21 seconds. You can close that. So we've actually prompted it and we've coded it to think and write like an attorney would. So it sets out the legal framework, it applies the law to the facts with an analysis. It does the practical application, and it gives you the recommendations as well. And you'll see here, I'm sure that all of you are aware of the instances of attorneys using ChatGPT, and it obviously spits out case law, and then it comes to courts and they find out that those cases actually don't exist. So what we've done is to reduce the risk of that happening and to make it very, very easy to check that Murphy is accurate in what it's saying. We've created a citation engine. So you'll see here all of the citations are in text. Whenever Murphy makes a statement, it has to provide a supporting link. And this link will either be to an internet source. As you can see here, you can click on that. It'll take you to the web page where it pulled the answer from. Or if it's from our underlying legislation or a case law database, then you can see over here. So it's pulled here from the Labor Relations Act. You can click here. It pulls the chunk from the act that it's used. And if you actually click over here, what Murphy does is it opens up a PDF of the underlying judgment or of the act itself. So you can see here, this is our legislation provider, Laws South Africa. It used the Labour Relations Act, and it opens up the act for you, so you can go through it and verify that Murphy was accurate. So that's how we're aiming to assist attorneys to avoid hallucination, because yeah, it is becoming a problem. And if you click here on sources for the standard internet query, you can see here it's pulled from the various internet sources. It's pulled from a piece of legislation. It's also pulled case law and from our academic collection. So if I click on the case law, you'll see here it has pulled the chunk of the case that it's used to draft the answer. If I click over here, it will open up a PDF of the judgment itself, which is incredibly useful. So the formatting is a bit funny because it's from the CCMA, but you can see here this is the arbitration award, and you can go through it and just verify that Murphy was actually accurate. So that's the internet query. You can export as docx or as a PDF. Obviously, these follow-up questions you can click if I want to click anything, or if any of them apply to me, I can just click them. Murphy will start running it. If you have a different follow-up question that's not in the list, you can just ask it over here. The chat history button is always on as a default. And to close that, I'm going to check on the research query. Okay, so you'll see here from the research query, it's thought for just under 4 minutes, so it does take a little while, but you'll see here the answer is incredibly detailed and lengthy. All of the internet sources in research are in text, and anything from our underlying databases is at the bottom in the sources tab. You see it's quite a long answer. So the internet references are in text, and the underlying sources are on the side over here. So obviously these are clickable. You can open up as you need. See, it's pulled from a piece of legislation. Again, you can open it. It opens up the PDF to check. This is a guidance note, so you can see it's quite an extensive range of documents that Murphy does have access to. And then obviously this you can export. Again, most people will use this as a first draft of an opinion because it's quite lengthy and it does most of the research for you. If I just open this. Yeah, so I've just opened it. You can see here it's a fairly lengthy Word document, and the citations are still there as well. And yeah, you can take it, use it as a first draft of an opinion. This one is 22 pages long. Yeah, it's 22 pages long. The links are at the bottom. And yeah. And then maybe just to finish off, this is a function that's not yet available. This is the production environment. This hasn't yet been released. So we have something called workflows that's coming out. We'll have 3 standard workflows. The first one is document drafting, the second one is document review, and the third one is legal research. So with the document drafting one, you'll see here, this is just a test environment. So you would be able to enter the document title, so it's a lease agreement. We've ingested a bunch of templates as standard, so you can choose from one of these, or you can upload your own template. And then if you as a firm have a standard template that you use, then it'll be ingested into Murphy. Over here, I'll just click lease agreement. You put in the context, for example, party A, party B, for example, the address, and the rental price, for example, is 25,000 per month. You can upload the supporting documents if you have emails or instructions from clients or a historic police that you would like it to make reference to. You can do that. Click on submit. And then because it's going to draft such a lengthy agreement, we don't show the streaming. What it does is it goes to the back end, it gets drafted in Any8, and you'll see here it says processing. So if I go back to workflows, go to my workflows, and you can see all of the workflows that you've done before. So over here, I did a consulting agreement, I did a lease agreement before. You click view, and this is the output that you get. So this is what Murphy has drafted in the back end, and then you'll see here. So you can work on it over here. The numbering, it's much like working in Microsoft Word. You can obviously edit it as needed, which you'll see here. This is about a 40-page lease agreement that Murphy's drafted, and it doesn't just take the underlying template and then insert the information that you have provided. It takes the template, it takes the internet sources, it takes the context that you've provided in your underlying documents, and it drafts the whole agreement from scratch. So while the agreements might be similar, they'll all be unique in that they are catered to whatever you have asked it to do. yeah, and then you can obviously export it again as PDF and as a docx. We are adding a button where you can share it with other attorneys in your firm so that they can then work on it in Murphy as well. Yeah, so that's workflows, which is very exciting, and that's going to be released towards the end of next month. And there'll be 3 standard workflows, but if you have a custom workflow, for example, there's something that your firm does a lot of, we'll sit with you and then we can map out the workflow, and yeah, we can build it out for you so that it'll then show up under your firm's profile and under no one else's profile. So yeah, that's workflows that's coming, and then we also have a Microsoft Word plugin that's being developed, and that's also quite exciting. That'll be available, if not towards the end of next month, then probably in October. And that will be where you open Microsoft Word. There's a Murphy Word plugin. It'll be able to draft agreements for you, to review agreements in Redline or not. So that's something that we still are busy working on. But yeah, that's essentially Murphy. That's what it does. Feel free to take it for a free trial and let us know if there's anything that you'd like improved and so forth. And yeah, we hope that you enjoy it. Thanks a lot.